In this video, I will be configuring shadow copies and disk quotas, and we'll be proving that they work. So the first we're going to look at is shadow copies. Now before we start, I'd just like to mention that I've already created some files that we're going to be working with. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to enable shadow copies. This is actually a very simple process. First we're going to go to My Computer, we're going to right click on our local disk and go to Properties. Then we're going to click the Shadow Copies tab, and we're going to click Enable. Simple as that. Now this warning, it just tells us that it's going to take a snapshot right now, which that's okay, that's what we want, that's fine. So we're going to click Yes. So that we've enabled shadow copies, we're going to go and edit the text file that I told you that we created earlier. So we're going to add a line so that we can prove that the shadow copies are working. Now we're going to save and close. So by default, shadow copies are set to be taken every day during the work week at 7 in the morning. So we're going to take one manually. We're going to right click on local disk and go to Properties. We're going to click on the Shadow Copies tab and click where it says Create Now. We obviously don't want to wait until 7 o'clock in the morning till one is taken. So I'm going to go to the file. We're going to right click and click Restore Previous Versions. We're going to click Restore over here and click Restore again. And click OK. As you can see, there are two shadow copies. The first one, which was taken automatically, and the second one, the more recent one, which we just took. So if we open the more recent one, we can see that we have the new line of text that we added. This proves to us that the shadow copies are working. So next we're going to do is we're going to configure disk quotas. So prior to this video, I've already installed the File Services Resource Manager, and you'll need to do that. So that's where we're going to go to first. We're going to drill down to the Quota Management node and click on Quota Templates. We're going to right click and click Create Quota Template. We're going to give this a name. We're going to call it Lab 11 Quota Template. And the limit's going to be 1 kilobyte. So we're going to click OK. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to right click on Quota and click Create Quota. In the path, we're going to choose the Lab 11 folder that's located on our local disk. And we're going to select the template that we created, Lab 11 Quota Template. We're going to click Create. Simple as that. Now we're going to go to Computer and Local Disk into our Lab 11 folder. We're going to try to create a folder. Now remember, we've already exceeded this quota, so we're not going to be allowed to create a new file. It's going to say there's no more room. So now we're going to go back to our File Server Resource Manager, and we're going to delete the quota that we just created. Click Yes. Then we're going to go back to our Lab 11 folder. And now we're going to be able to create a file because we have no quota that tells us that we're out of disk space. As you can see, we were able to create a file. This is the end of my lab video for Lab 11 in INTC 2030. See you next time.